Welcome to the Ozzy Award-winning Oswego Sports Update. I'm Josh Kay, and Adam, all this week at WTOP is Pink Week in conjunction with Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
I'm Adam Ruppsick, and an honor to support a great cause on our show tonight. The fall sports season comes to an end, and the puck is dropped for the Lakers in the ice arena. Fasten your seatbelts. We're about to take a ride. OSU starts now.
You're watching Oswego Sports
Update.
The Oswego State women's soccer team was the only fall sport team to qualify for postseason play this weekend. While the Lakers did lose 5-1 at Portland, the Lakers did notch the 5th seed in a date with Brockport in the SUNYAC tournament. All right, Adam, plain and simple, can the Lakers beat the Golden Eagles?
Yes, I think they can.
Yeah.
They proved that in the season. Just recently beat them in a double overtime game, 3-2. What a game and what a matchup we got coming on in the SUNYAC game on Saturday. We talk about the two top scoring average teams in the SUNYAC.
Yes.
Both scoring almost 2 goals a game, 1.8. Oswego does have the edge leading the scoring average. Brockport right behind them. Played great through the year. My concern is Oswego has struggled with teams ahead of them in the conference this year.
Yeah, you know what? Something, though, that I'll take a positive is last year, the reason why the Lakers didn't make postseason play, they did have some success, was because they didn't have backup behind Nikki Liotka and Shelley Bateman. This year, you got the likes of Bree Dolan, Georgia Traynor, Bailey Waterbury, Tia Segredo. She was the Athlete of the Week twice.
Yeah.
I think they have depth now, and I think that's what's going to help them get past Brockport. It's going to be a little tricky with Oneonta. Oneonta is the class of all soccer, whether it's men's or women's. That's going to be a tougher test. But, you know, the key to this game is, will the defense step up? Will they make enough plays to allow the offense to have opportunities to score?
Yeah, hopefully a good week of practice is in the works so the team will travel to Brockport.
Right.
So they're not going to get that home game. Last game, double overtime game, so it's going to be a battle the whole way through. The concerns I was talking about earlier, Oswego was beaten by Cortland, Oneonta, Buff State. All teams higher than them in the SUNYAC right now. A couple bad losses. Cortland 5-1, Oneonta 4-1. So I think when they're playing that higher competition, they haven't stood out. But this Brockport team, they get by them. Maybe they can keep the momentum rolling, Cinderella-esque, through the SUNYAC championship.
Yeah, this team shows a lot of fight and a lot of promise, and I've seen a lot of the growth throughout the entire year. So what it basically comes down to is, can they finish? Can they put the ball past the goalie? I know they can do it against Brockport. What's going to happen against Oneonta?
As we wind down to the end of this fall sports season, there are plenty of Oswego sports to recognize. Out of all the teams we covered this fall, which ones proved most noteworthy to you, Josh?
You know what, Adam? I'm going to say it was the women's volleyball team. It's the first winning season since 2006 for them. Now, they didn't have a winning season in conference play, but out of conference play, they showed a lot of growth. They showed a lot of potential. They are going to lose a few key players in Sabrina Sutton and Morgan Lavner, but they do return Stephanie Bailey for her senior campaign next year. What Coach J.J. O'Connell has been able to do in the couple of years he's been here, it really stands out to me. Getting his 300th win as a coach here, that's something you can always recognize. I think that's one of the positives to take away from the fall for them.
Yeah, definitely so. A team that was totally dismembered a few years ago, new coaching staff, and all new players come in. They can come around and get a winning season under their belts. A lot of talent showing this year. J.J. O'Connell, I think, has full control going into next year. Look out for them. I'd also like to note the Oswego's high school football team.
Hey, there you
500 season, 4-4. A team, I mean, was the laughingstock of Central New York. Didn't have a win in a couple of years. They come in now, 4-4. Congrats to them. Also, field hockey, 5-9, not bad. Ashley Collins of the field hockey team was the most recent Oswego Athlete of the Week. So shout out to them.
You know, one thing that we need to improve on is next year when we talk about these stories, we need to have some positive things to say about the men's soccer team. This is the 5th straight year. They've had 10-plus wins. Something's got to improve. I like the talent they can bring in next year. There's going to be some potential, but certainly there's going to have to be a little bit of change in regards to how they go about preparation and how they go about finding success.
Yeah, hopefully the younger players step up next year. They find a goaltender situation. They did tie 5 times.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
That's a plus. All right, well, hockey's back in Oswego. The Oswego State men's ice hockey team begins their 2013-2014 campaign this weekend with 2 home games against Fredonia and Buffalo State. With 24 new players, what can we expect from this year's squad, Adam?
Well, people looking at this roster right now would say, wow, we lost so many seniors.
Yeah.
A lot of young talent coming in. But, keyword young talent, I mean, Coach Gosick isn't bringing in scrubs. It's a nationally renowned team. They have a lot of leadership still left on the team. I think they'll be all right, obviously.
Yeah, well, the most recent preseason USCHO poll came out today, Oswego number 4th. The big dogs, obviously, Eau Claire, Norwich, Norbert, they're all up there as well. One thing I'm gonna key on this year is, where's the defense going to factor in? Because if there was one criticism I had throughout the middle part of last season was a couple defensive lapses which allowed some teams into the games. I like what I saw at the showcase. Max Scott, he looked good. J.J. Hart, he looked phenomenal as well. Two big bodies. And obviously, what can we talk about? We got to talk about the senior leadership. David Titanic, what he's been able to bring to the table this year is going to be big. Kyle Badham, obviously Bobby Gertzakis, he had his streak last year, his hot streak during the NCAA tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think they come out this weekend, they get a little bit of confidence under their belt, win a couple of games. I think they'll have some success.
And with all these freshmen coming in, they're going to see a lot of time out there on the ice. So maybe, not this year, in a couple of years down the road, this senior class 4 years from now, they're going to be filthy. They gotta be. And Captain David Titanic, we'll talk to him later in the show. 33 points coming back. Gertzakis had a great year last year. Also, Reve coming back. So they do have that leadership along with that freshman talent combined together. Look for a good season from the Lakers.
One last thing to note. How about a couple of the transfers coming in? Montagna, he transferred from Vermont. He's a local boy. He's from Fulton. He's going to be a key to the success. So hopefully they can ride that momentum and get first couple of wins.
Some more experience. On the other end of the ice, the Oswego State women's hockey team looks to open up at home in the Oswego State Classic this weekend. Unlike the men's team, the Lady Lakers only lost one senior. Josh, what are your first instincts on this year's squad?
Well, depth. I think that's huge. Last year they were sporting 2.5 lines on the offensive front. This year they bring in a lot of depth. A lot of the seniors return. We actually have one of the women's hockey players on our crew, so we love chatting it up with her about the state of the team. But the people I'm going to key on are a couple of returners who have played together for the entire time they've been here. Leslie Jarvis, Chelsea Hunt, that deep pair, if they can anchor down in front of whether it's Cote or whether it's Bridget Smith, I think they're going to have a lot of success there. And I'm also going to look at the forwards who stepped up last year, have to be successful again. Olivia Borson, Melissa Seamont, Megan Hagg have to put the puck in the back of the net because the conference they're in, the ECAC, it's wide open now. Usually it's Elmira, usually it's Plattsburgh. The gaps close a little bit. I think Oswego has a shot.
Yeah, I look at it. They go 500 last year, 10-6 in that conference.
Right.
I only see them going up from there.
Yeah.
All their leaders are back. The senior they lost had 6 points on the year. So all their leaders are back. Seamont, the leading point scorer, is back. Tori Travato looks like she's going to play good in the net for Oswego. Had a good season last year. And Cote back with some experience. This team I see only gets up from here.
WTOP 10's coverage of men's and women's hockey will begin this week. All right, up next, we'll catch up with our athlete of the week. Stay tuned. Hi, Dave.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel too. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
Welcome back to Oswego Sports Update. Adam and I are now joined by Oswego State men's ice hockey captain, David Titanic. Dave, thanks so much for joining us on our transition from fall to winter sports. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I should have thrown a suit on. You guys are putting me to shame here.
Well, you put us to shame out on the ice. So let's start off with the team. Well, like we mentioned earlier, 24 new guys, 19 freshmen, 5 transfers. What has your role been as a captain this year in kind of getting the guys ready for, SUNYAC play?
Yeah, well, basically, I've just been trying to get everyone together and on the same page. A lot of new guys, as you said, so guys coming from different backgrounds, not knowing our systems and everything.
Right.
Just been trying to get everyone, in the same mindset, and I think they've been doing a good job so far.
Yeah.
But there's still a ways to go.
Sure.
Last year, talking with all the seniors, everyone was comfortable getting into those sets. All these freshmen come in. Have you guys changed your game plan at all, or is it the same game plan with just new faces in the roles?
No, I think it's the same game plan pretty much. We've been doing the same systems and everything for years now, and the sooner they get comfortable with what we do out there, I think the sooner our team will be successful.
I hate to bring it up. I know you hate thinking about it, but the national championship game last year, you guys lost. It was a heartbreaker, and I know a lot of the seniors didn't want to go out that way. What motivation do you take going into this year, now that you're one of the leaders, to try to get back to that kind of competitive level and try to get back to postseason play?
Yeah, I'll never forget being up 2-0 in that game and coming up short. So I think that's a big motivational factor for me. I have a picture of their throwing their gloves off and everything in my mind, and
Yeah.
I think I'm going to use that and try to instill that sort of motivation in the young players this year. And
Sure.
And we have a ways to go, but I think we have a talented group, and who knows where we'll end up by the end of the year.
Right.
Transition forward now to this year, aside from the returners, aside from you, Captain, 33 points scored last year. Coming back, what are you most excited for, a particular player, particular set, or something on your team?
I'm just excited to get these new guys out and have everyone see. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised with the guys we have, and it's just an exciting time. These guys bring so much energy, and they kind of renewed my energy a bit this year. Keeping tabs on all of them, but I think it's going to be fun early on here, seeing who steps up and who's effective for us.
Yeah, so now taking the skates off yourself, I know last year when we had a lot of the guys on, a lot of them followed hockey religiously, when they weren't playing. What's your team?
I'm a Leafs fan.
You're a Leafs fan. Okay,
Yes.
so we're going to have a little bit of a rivalry here, being a Western New York Sabres guy.
As well.
Sorry to hear that.
You know what? We'll debate that all day long. What do you like about the Leafs so far this year? I mean, they're off to a good start, and they look positive to make another run.
Yeah, they've been exciting so far. I think it's nice to have a good goalie step in.
Yeah.
And Kessel, I mean, watching that guy shoot the puck is something else. But they brought in some other new guys like Boland, and I like Kadri. He's my favorite player in the Leafs, so I think he's fun to watch. And it's exciting. We haven't had a whole lot to cheer for in quite a few years here, but hopefully it's a good one for them.
Hopefully your year's this year, and ours is coming up soon.
Hey, with it even more off the ice, senior here at Oswego State, your major and anything else you like to do when you're off the ice?
What I like to do when I'm off the ice? Oh, gosh. Well, spend time with my roommates, just relax, and, I try to get hockey out of my mind when I'm away from the rink a bit and give myself a break from all that.
All right, so you seem like a really good sports guy. I can tell by the Pirates hat on your head. World Series going on right now. Who you got in the series?
I haven't been watching too closely. I think Boston was up 3-1 tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think I can root for another team in the AL East, though. I'm a Jays fan at heart, so I'm going to have to root against Boston here.
Yeah, I mean, off the screen we're going to have fisticuffs because I'm a Yanks fan too, so that's not going well. We'll get you out of here on this. One of the things that I like to do when I look back at seasons past and how you gain experience, your game-winning goal against Geneseo last year, what was that feeling like for you, kind of finally, getting that moment where you say, hey, I put the team on my back for this game and I had the goal? Yeah,
well, it's always nice to have an individual accomplishment, I guess,
Sure.
but that was an exciting goal just mainly because we stepped back up in the first place
Right.
with that win. So I think that made it even sweeter. And it's those experiences that going forward will help me this year, and looking forward to a good year.
Awesome. All right, Dave, we thank you so much for joining us. It's always good to, kind of get the scoop of the actual team instead of us just talking about it the entire time. So thank you so much for joining us.
No problem, anytime.
All right, well, coming up on Oswego Sports Update, we'll go over to Dan, who will throw some topics up for grabs. Stick with us.
My first week home was great. We had a party.
2 o'clock in the morning, they were waiting for me.
My niece was waiting for me at the airport with a sign.
There was a huge sign across my front house, and it said, "Welcome home, Megan."
They lifted me up on their shoulders, and the first week back, people just said thank you.
A new generation of veterans is coming home. Make a difference for them at welcomebackveterans.org.
The 2013 Louis B. O'Donnell Media Summit. Moderated by ESPN sports broadcaster and class of '87 Steve Levy. Coming to Waterman Theater November 6th. Stay connected by visiting mediasummit.org for updates.
There's a lot of talk out on the street about his mother, your mother, their mother. But in the end, is anyone really even thinking about them?
Attention students and faculty. Avery Rental Properties is now renting for the next school year. Avery accommodates all group sizes, small or large. Avery Rental Properties. Make our house your home. 24-hour maintenance, garbage removal, snow removal, and off-street parking. Avery Rental Properties. 315-343-5005.
Welcome back to OSU. Let's throw some topics up for grabs with a man, we missed him, Dan North. Danny, what you got for us?
Thanks, Adam. Well, it's been a wild World Series so far, especially the last two games. Game 3 ended on a bizarre obstruction call in favor of St. Louis, and then last night we had the postseason's first ever pickoff to end the game. The series is now 3-2 in favor of Boston after they got the 3-1 win tonight. Does either of these teams have the upper hand now, especially since Boston just won that game?
All right, so Adam, I'll give you the question to start. 3-2, Boston now leads, going in back to Boston. Does St. Louis have a shot in this, or is it another miracle at Fenway?
I don't think you can say they don't have a shot. I mean, what a crazy series, what a crazy playoffs, indeed. The Cardinals looked like they were going to stomp out the Dodgers. They came back, then the Cardinals finished out strong.
Yeah.
Boston, in miracle fashion, won their championship series. I mean, you got to expect this goes to Game 7.
Yeah.
I have to say St. Louis comes back and takes it to Game 7 because of what it's played out to be. This fairy tale needs it.
Yeah, so if there's one silver lining for this St. Louis team is that their pitching is dynamite. And the guy that's had the most success in the postseason so far, Waka, he's on the mound. He takes the ball in Game 6. He already pitched in Boston, so he knows the crowd, he knows the environment, he knows what he has to do. The only question is, can the offense step up? Can they not make mistakes so you can get Beltran, you can get Holiday up there? You know, Boston's playing well right now, and every time, you know, those bearded guys just get hits, it just makes me angry as a Yanks fan. You know, I cheer for you know, any team against the Red Sox.
David Ortiz, 3 for 4 tonight. He's 11 for 15 in the World Series. Dan?
How about those numbers? Moving to golf. As many of us know, Tiger Woods picked up 5 wins on the season, but none of them were major championships. Longtime critic Brandel Chambly wrote a column about Woods saying that he would give him an F on the season because of the Golf Stars rule violations during the year. What do you guys think of Chambly's comments on Woods?
Brace yourself.
I've been waiting for this one all day long since you sent me the rundown this afternoon. Who are you to call the best player ever to play the game of golf a cheater? Go ahead, and I'll finish.
Okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate just to get a point across. Then I'll completely agree with you. You got to have good TV. And in the golf off season, what do you talk about? So I could guess where he could kind of want to play something up, but you don't go after the best golfer in the game, and arguably by the end of his career, the best golfer of all time. Yeah, he's had some off-the-course stuff, but it's a gentleman's game. The only way these guys get here, you and I talked about it, is by playing fair and playing the rules.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
These players are the best because they're straight out the best.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes playing with my dad to gain a stroke, I might throw my ball back into the fairway. But I'll tell you what, the golf gods get you, and Tiger Woods doesn't cheat. Tiger Woods does not cheat. How dare he make those claims on the best player in the game? Dan.
Whew, heated.
How about that? Getting fired up. I love it. It was another week in the NFL, and some statements have been made. The Kansas City Chiefs remain undefeated, and the Denver Broncos pulled away from the Redskins to get their 7th win of the season. The 49ers have also won 5 in a row, and the Saints picked up another win as well. Who do you guys think the best team in the NFL is right now?
All right. Well, I'm going to dismiss the Chiefs right away, and here's why. Every team they've played so far, even though they're 8-0, I'll give them credit. They'll probably make the playoffs. It's been a team that's been 500 or below. You have to prove it to me. They have 2 games against Denver in 3 weeks coming up. They can win one of those and show me that they're a contender. I'll agree with it. I'm not going to go my bias with New England. I'm hopping over to the NFC West. The Seattle Seahawks playing well. Defense is stepping up when the offense isn't there. They have a good schedule. They play some tough road games. They've won. And what can you say about Russell Wilson? Not the pocket passer like the Tom Brady or the Peyton Manning. Mobile, smart decision. He's a dynamic personality. He gets the job done.
Definitely, he's made a new type for quarterbacks in the NFL, and I agree with you, the Kansas City Chiefs are not the best team. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning and that offense scores at will. When their defense starts shaping up, they start stopping people. I don't think they're going to be beat. New Orleans Saints, they're looking pretty good too. Drew Brees can go deep, like always. Their defense is stepping up. New Orleans, Denver's my number 1 though.
What about Denver's defense? I don't like it. They gave up close to 50 points against Dallas.
But they score at will.
Now with Manning injured.
By the way, guys, well, who isn't excited for the NBA season to get started? The Miami Heat are looking for a three-peat, but several teams are trying to make sure that doesn't happen. A lot of moves were made in the offseason, and I think we're all excited to see them unfold. But my question to you guys is, are the Heat still the favorite to win the title, or is this year someone else's top dog?
Yeah, definitely someone else is the top dog in this one. Just let me listen. NBA teams: Pacers, Bulls, Brooklyn, Rockets, Golden State, Spurs, Clippers, Grizzly. Great teams, better.
One team, Miami Heat, 3 in a row. LeBron's starting to make the case for the greatest player of all time.
All right, we'll
no
talk about
question
that later.
about it.
Well,
no
coming up on
Adam.
Oswego Sports Update, we'll go back over to Dan with our new segment. Stay tuned.
Do you like this top? So gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Got a good thing going, I don't wanna see it end. Oh, no, no, no.
Hi, we're Real Big Fish.
And you're watching WTOP 10.
Like the number.
The mailbox and the traffic light. Both are ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
A little gauge.
back. Hey, Dan, what's the new segment?
Yeah, well, Adam, it's called Coin Toss. I'll give you guys a scenario. You guys tell me which one is more appealing to you. And if you didn't see Calvin Johnson's performance against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, then you missed out on the second best performance by a wide receiver in NFL history. The dude had 329 yards on 14 catches. Impressive, eh? While quarterback Terrell Pryor of the Oakland Raiders had an incredible 93-yard touchdown run against the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. Guys, which performance was more impressive in your opinion?
I got to go Calvin Johnson. Megatron, are you kidding me? 329 yards? And he could have had 5 touchdowns. He was extremely close to having 5 touchdowns. This is one of the best performances put on by a wide receiver ever. He is great. He is the Megatron. No one could guard him unless LeBron James is in the NFL.
2 points. 1, Dan said second greatest performance of all time. Terrell Pryor had the longest touchdown for a quarterback in NFL history.
Terrell Pryor, scrub, Oakland Raiders, stink.
Whoa.
He had an open hole. No one touched him. He ran. He's fast. Good for him. He's in the NFL. He should be fast.
Megatron is expected to do this.
No.
He's expected to come in here and be a
329 yards and could have had 5 touchdowns.
Okay,
He's not
look at the play.
expected
The
to
plays
do
on the screen right now. Terrell Pryor just keeps going. The Steelers' defense, arguably one of the best defenses over the last 10 years.
The hole was huge. The hole was huge. I might have been able to get to like the 30. On well, my own 30, not the other 30.
Okay, well, that'll never end.
Scrub was a little harsh word there, Adam. Sticking with football, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots found a way to win yesterday, but he hasn't been himself this year, obviously, which could be due to his most recent throwing arm injury. Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos is also dealing with a nagging injury right now, as his ankle has been giving him some problems. Which injury is more worrisome to you guys right now?
Well, I'm going to say Peyton Manning, and here's why. There's no defense in Denver. If for some reason this injury is ailing Peyton and his offense isn't clicking as it was in the first half, obviously he came back out, made some adjustments, they played well, they're not going to have enough offense. And if they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to have to show me that Peyton Manning's healthy. Tom Brady, the defense is good. One thing that Bill Belichick always says is just do your job. If you get it done, they run the ball. They have a 3 running back system. Ryan Mallett is no Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. Let's get that straight. But in a situation, if Manning or Brady goes out, I'm taking Mallett, and I think the Patriots can still make the playoffs in a tough AFC East.
Please. All right, Peyton Manning, ankle sprain. Yeah, that's got him hurt, but they have a bye week. He doesn't move barely at all, so he can do that. But we talk about Tom Brady. They need him to win this year. Not a good Patriots
Their defense
team.
is good.
They need Tom Brady, and it's his throwing hand.
He says he's fine. I mean, watch him play. The guy will get it done when he needs to. Look at what they've done the last couple of years. I mean, they'll do it.
As you mentioned a little bit earlier, the World Series last 2 games have had some crazy finishes, to say the least. Game 3 ended with an obstruction call, and last night we had the postseason's first ever pickoff to end a game. Which one of these finishes was most shocking to you guys?
I think Game 4, the pickoff, that is totally horrible. You are in the World Series, you can't get picked off to lose a game. Come on.
Okay, but listen to me. I'm glad we're disagreeing on a lot because it's really starting to get the juices flowing. Yeah. Game 3, an obstruction call. That's never going to happen. You don't see that. You never see that. Game 3.
All right, well, this show is almost over, so we're about to go down to the wire. Buffalo Sabres traded star Thomas Vanek yesterday for Matt Molson. Good move?
Yeah, they got a first-round pick in the next draft, and then in 2015, they get another good pick. I think they're doing a good job, and I think when it goes forward, the Buffalo Sabres will be in the playoffs in the next couple of years. Oregon jumps over Florida State to the number 2 in the BCS recent polls. Are they better than Florida State?
Right now, yes, they beat UCLA, but if Florida State goes in and beats Miami this week, I think my idea changes. Jeff Gordon won at Martinville this weekend. He is 3rd overall in the chase. Can he win the Sprint Cup this year?
He's got to pass. He has to pass Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson, both those guys better than him in his career. Detroit Lions receiver Nate Burleson doesn't need to buy dinner for the next year. After he was in a car accident trying to save his pizza, DiGiorno decided to give him free pizza for a year. Adam, what would you do for free pizza?
I'd rather not answer that on air.
All right, Dan, real quick, any mistakes?
The only thing I got, Josh, you said the men's soccer team has gotten 10-plus wins in the last few years. I'm pretty sure it's 10-plus losses, as we know.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here on this episode of OSU. Next week, we'll be back for Dan, Adam, I'm Josh.